Hello everyone out there in YouTube world. Hope you're all doing okay out there in that world of ours. Yeah, I got a new subscriber first of all. Thank you so much, whoever you may be, subscribe to our channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really mean a lot. We are very grateful for that. Very, very grateful indeed. And how's the Tai Chi traveller doing? Yes, it's doing good. As some of you now know, we went to Stratford-upon-Avon yesterday, and the weatherman, they got it wrong. Meant to be nice and warm. It was windy and cold. You probably could hear on the video how windy it was, and you probably could see the wind blowing on my Mandarin jacket when I was doing my Tai Chi form. Maxine, you felt the cold very badly yesterday, didn't you? Went right through you.
Absolutely horrible.
I know the weathermen, yeah, they never get it right, do they? Don't believe what you see on the TV.
They do say, don't cast the clouds on me either.
Yeah, that's saying.
True.
It's true. Don't cast the clouds to me. It's got that cold as well still hanging around. But anyway, how are we doing, my darling?
We're doing fine, thank you.
Exactly. See, we're doing fine. But yes, so this Let's Talk video is going to be about homelessness. Because we've been watching Billy Moore YouTube channel on his videos, and for those of you who don't know about him, honestly, you got to check out his channel because he shows you the hardcore, and we mean the hardcore of how life is. He doesn't. Some people were saying on his channel that he's disrespecting the place. He's not disrespecting the place. He's showing you the reality
of life.
Of life and what's going on. Where in the media they tend to paint it with a brush to say, oh, it's not that bad there and what have you. And they go by the stats. The stats are totally rubbish. You've got to be there to see it for yourself. Never go by the stats. And they say, this place is that bad, this place is this. We have seen some places which the stats said they was really bad, but they're not. It's the ones that you don't hear about which are very bad. And Billy's showing these places. Take Blackpool for instance. Wow, quite shocking actually. Quite shocking, because when we were younger, we used to really look forward to going to Blackpool because Blackpool was the mecca of the UK, as far back as from
the lights
the 18th century,
yeah,
all the way to the mid 19th century.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going there. Gosh, school. When they used to do coach trip to Blackpool for school. When I was a breakdancer in the early to mid 80s, we would be up there at Blackpool doing our thing, you know, and it was fantastic.
I mean, it used to be hard to get into the holiday houses,
Yeah.
didn't it? Holiday flats.
The holiday flats would be gone within a matter
They're all
of days.
boarded up.
And the majority,
Most of them. They're showing you a mask, aren't they?
Yeah,
The seafront.
Yeah, all they're doing is just showing you the seafront.
The seafront and a few
They're not
houses,
showing you
bed and
the
breakfast.
ghetto.
Not showing you behind you.
They're not showing you the ghetto. But anyway, yeah, this video is about homelessness. I personally know, as some of you know about it, I was homeless. And sometimes people, when they say, you were living on the streets, I was very close to. But it's because I didn't have a place of my own. And that's where you come under the category of being homeless, because you haven't got no name for that place. You're not the one paying the rent or you're paying the utility bills or anything. That's classes you as... Basically, I was sofa surfing. And that's what I really was doing. I was sofa surfing from as far back as 2017. Yep, that's when it started. Towards the middle of 2017. That's when my homelessness started. Wow. And I was quite shocked because I didn't know about sofa surfing or being homeless and things like that. I thought I didn't fit into that category because I had somewhere to stay, but it wasn't mine. It was a mate's place. So now I know. When I actually found out through Wolverhampton, well, it was actually through Dudley Housing Association, and I remember I had a visit from them when I was in Bridley Hill, because that was the first place I moved to from Wolverhampton, was Bridley Hill, and it was at a colleague's home. I had a job, and they called that, it was called subletting. Subletting. See, that even comes under the Act of Homelessness.
But you didn't know,
But
did you?
I didn't know. I didn't have no inclination of it at all. So then I had a visit from someone had reported me to the housing association, which I didn't have a clue about. Some nosy neighbours, which we called them. And yeah, I'd only been there a couple of weeks. And because he wasn't staying there, he was staying at his partner's place.
Letting out his flat.
Yeah, letting out his flat. And then, yeah, I had a visit from the council, knock on the door, and I always remember this, knock on the door. And I seen this mixed race woman with her colleague, all in clipboards and everything, with a badge on it, very authoritative looking. And he said, is this your place? I said, no, I'm being honest, no, it's not. I'm afraid that you can't stay here, she said. I said, what am I to do? So I've got nowhere to go. I said, well, you're homeless, aren't you? I said, I didn't realise that I was. I said, well, he shouldn't be letting you stay here. It's against the law. I said, you can get in prison for that. That's what she said. I was like, me getting in prison? Yes, you can, and so can he. He can lose the flat too because of you staying here. She said, yeah, he was just helping me out. I said, doesn't matter. She was, what they call a job's worth type of person. So they're giving me 2 weeks to move out. I was thinking, oh God, what the hell was I going to do? And I put out this video on Facebook at the time, a cry for help. I was in a right state when I put it out. I was really depressed, very badly. My mind was scattered. It was all over the place. Didn't know what to do. I was scared. And then apparently the video that I put up on Facebook had quite a few thousand views, apparently, but I didn't know at the time. And people were messaging me, and there was messages flooding, and I couldn't think to answer them. So I went silent. So I remember going back into work, and I told one of the lads there, welcoming the lads there, if anyone can put me up. And then I found out this lad, Andy, I was going to call him Andy because that's what his name, I'm not going to say his last name. And he lived in the Tipton area, and I won't tell you exactly where about. But he had his own house, he bought his own house. He says, oh, I've got a spare room. I said, you can stay there for as long as you want. I said, really? He says, what about if I wanted to stay there for 3-4 years? I said, yeah, again, it's entirely as long as you want. And he decided he wanted £50 a week off me.
Oh.
He really did. So he got
There's some kind people out
yeah.
there.
And then I was moved out within a matter of days. And I was going to send a message to the Dudley Council, and I was going to send in a very annoying and peed off letter to them, but I thought, no, I'm better than that.
But hang on, they're only doing their job.
Yeah, I know, but my mind,
I know,
my mind was in a bad state.
I know.
So anyone who would have been put in that position would have probably carried it through.
Because they have to follow rules, don't they?
Yeah, rules and regulations. Yeah. So I thought, no, I'm just going to keep quiet, do what I got to do, and stayed with Andy for about 4 years, I think it was. But in them 4 years, I had a couple of accidents whilst I was at work for a certain ex-freezer centre company, food store and whatever. I was a delivery driver for them. And again, I was still self-surfing for those years that I was there. Now that I knew that I was officially homeless, it made me feel the reality of life, of how hard life really is. Gosh. And then I was thinking about all the people who were back in Wolverhampton and some of my friends on the social media, some of my social media platforms, and seeing some of the things, how they were living it up. But I went into a very dark place. So that's what I came from. I came away from social media for that time. And my life went dark for best part of nearly 2 years. Yeah, very dark. I'm being honest, I have to say, I was suicidal. I really was. I was at the suicidal state. And have I ever been in a suicidal state before? I did, but not to this level. This was another level, it really was. So I was in a I was probably in the most darkest place of all that I've ever been in my entire life. Because even my childhood trauma things had come forward, man. It just hit me, bang, right in the centre of my being. And it was just, where do I go from here?
It's your body's way, isn't it, of protecting itself?
Yeah.
Really. That's the way the body will react.
And you know what kept me going? What kept me alive? This picture of my son. I'm gonna have to show you this picture. Excuse me. This picture of Ben. This picture kept me alive. Kept me alive. Kept looking at it every single day of him. Every single day I looked at this picture. Kept me alive. True, it did. So yeah, I was focusing my energy on him. And then I was trying to do some of my meditation stuff to try and get my mind out of that mad space, that very dark space where it was living for that time. And then I had a visit from my family members because now I wanted to know what was going on. I had a knock on the door and he said, "Oh, you've got your brother here at the door." And he was one of my younger brothers, one of my sisters and my other brother. And my younger brother's partner was there as well. And I'd lost a lot of weight as well. I reckon I probably got down to about 13 stone, maybe a little bit less.
You weren't eating now,
I wasn't eating at all. Was not eating at all. Because I couldn't go back to work anymore because of the way I was. Even I was getting missed call messages from them and stuff like that, and I couldn't answer them because of the way how my mind was. Yeah, I went totally off grid. I mean, literally off grid. I know there was a lot of people who were really, really scared and wondering what was going on with, especially Maxine. She really wished she was at the end of your wits, weren't you, with it?
Yeah, but luckily, at least you answered me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Where he wasn't answering anybody else.
I wasn't answering no one
just
else.
Me.
Just Max. I answered Maxine.
It was a hard time, wasn't it? That?
Very, very hard time. And this is the thing, it's good to talk about these things. People think it's a bad thing to talk. No, the worst thing about it is when you don't say anything. When you lock yourself away, and I mean, like what I did. I locked myself away from the world. And also what I was watching this thing on YouTube about Man versus Food. And it wasn't the first person, the one with the black hair, it was the one with the ginger hair and beard. I was watching him all the time. I was just focused on that and focused on Ben.
Trying to focus.
Trying to focus and watching that content, and I mean religiously. I didn't want to go to sleep. I was scared to go to sleep. Really was. But yeah, my family had come to see me and I told them I was, I kind of like trying to pump myself up while I was talking to them. And I said, I'm going to be alright, but I knew I wasn't alright, but I had to tell them that to make them feel a little bit better because they were worried. So then, yeah, speaking to Maxine shortly after that, messaging you, and and then my brother Jason, bless him, he helped me out financially. He really did. And then my cousin Chris came forward as well. So bless you, Chris. He said, right, we're going to get you back into Wolves. So sorted a place of stay for the time being. And then he told me about a company called P3. I did actually hear about P3. I've seen stuff on them on social media, but I didn't really take much notice about them really. Because they were one of the first organisations in Wolverhampton.
Right.
Yeah, if not the West Midlands as a whole, because they've got places all over, here, there, all over the Midlands, in Birmingham and Dudley, Coventry, where else? Even Rugeley, they got places up there in Rugeley. So yeah, went into the Wolverhampton Council when I moved back. Asked them, told them I'm homeless, so they put me on the emergency housing register. And they said you could wait for months and months on end, if not years, on the emergency housing register.
Mm.
But the thing is, for us men, it's a long time. You'd be lucky if you get a place.
But it's the same for women as well now, if they've got no children.
Yeah, I was going
or
to
the
say.
children have grown up.
Yeah, this is the next thing I was going to say. With women who've got kids, young kids, then yeah,
You're okay.
they're
but
okay.
If you've got no children,
Yeah, but it's worse for men though.
oh, it is worse
It's
than
a
me.
lot
Of course
worse
it
than-
is.
it's
Unless
worse.
they've got custody of the children.
Unless they've got custody of the children, but it is
Yeah.
in the long run. It's when it comes to homelessness things and that. It's hard. It's worse for men more than women. It's not a sexist thing. It's a factual
Yeah,
thing. It's
yeah.
fact. It really is. It's a factual thing. So even the council had given me information about P3, which I'd already had from my cousin Chris. And so I thought, right, okay, I'm not going to rush this. I'm not going to rush into it straight because I got the information. I knew I had it, and I didn't want to act on it yet. So because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to act on it. So a few weeks went by, and I said to Chris, right, I'm gonna get in touch with P3 because I was only there for a few months with Chris.
Mm.
Yeah, I said I think it was best part of 11 months. I think it was something
Yeah.
like that, about 11 months.
They were good, weren't they? P3 at getting you somewhere straight away, really.
Yeah, so then I rang them up.
Yeah.
And they said, I said, when can I move with you guys as well? You move as soon as possible. I said, what do you mean as soon as possible? A day? No, a matter of hours. I thought, wow, brilliant. I said, where's the place? It's a hostel. And then I went, oh God, it's a hostel. And I heard all these bad stories about hostels and how bad they really are, because there's some bad ones around. I was thinking, oh no, I hope they don't put me in a bad one. And they said, well, we've got a decent one because we know that you've got no criminal backgrounds or anything, so we'll try and put you in a much more better hostel, not like so much of what they call a hardcore hostel. So I went to this one in Bushbury, and boy, wow. When I got all my stuff together, my family helped me. I got the family van. And got all my gear, stuff which was in black bags and whatever, and got me into there. And there you go, that was it. My family had gone and I was left outside. Opened the roller shutter. I thought, what? So I was thinking, what on earth is with this roller shutter thing? Because I didn't know what it was all about. I said, gosh, it's like it was a... What did they call that? It's a halfway house kind of thing. That's what I thought it was. I says, unfortunately, we have to have a curfew. I says, a curfew? Really? Why? I says, well, we have some residents in here who have got a criminal background, who have got alcoholics or drug addicts. I went, really? Oh my gosh. I was horrified, I'm being honest. I didn't feel scared. I was horrified by it, knowing that. But you know what? I mean, I was there for 3 months. There was a handful of them who were good with me. But they realised that. They even said, Ozzy, you shouldn't be here. You should not be here. You got no criminal background. You've never been in prison. You just unfortunately fell on hard times. Says, yeah, I know, I did. But most of us have got criminal backgrounds. We were ex-jailbirds and whatever. So I was the only one, really, who hadn't gone to prison, who wasn't a drug addict, who wasn't an alcoholic. I know I was social to be doing things, but these were next level stuff. These were addicts, proper addicts. And you know what? Some of these addicts, I'll tell you now from my own personal experience, are some of the nicest people that you'll ever meet, even though they've got an addiction. And they really are. They will tell you the bare necessities of what they've been through themselves.
I mean, come on, they weren't born, was they? Going into hostel.
No. He
I
was
fell on hard times.
fell on hard time and influenced by
Mainly
the outside.
because of probably mixing with the wrong people.
Yeah, influenced by the outside
yeah.
world, basically.
Relationship breakups.
Relationship breakups. Yeah.
You know, never judge people.
No, never ever just because I've been there, man. I personally know it.
I mean, use your instinct
Yeah.
because some people are bad. They're
Oh
bad.
yeah, they are. It's about weighing up the pros and cons with it, and what I mean, I did salesman work for only a couple of years or so in between work and working in security and working the doors and whatever. And I worked for a company called Kirby. And for those of you who don't know about Kirby, basically they are a sales company who do what they call cold calling. You don't see them advertising on the TV or anything like that. They're a Scottish firm, but originally moved to America way back. And there's these hoovers, which is shaped like a hammerhead shark, but made out of this special alloy metal, which is very lightweight. It's an upright clean, and you got all these kits that come with it. But anyway, and then I got to go around trying to sell them, door knocking and whatever. But then I learnt the art of not just you appealing people, but studying people in their behaviour, in how they reacted, how they speak with you, and how they presented themselves. Sometimes you some people who come from a rough background, right, who wear the same clothes in, day out, but yet they're some of the nicest people. And then I come across some of the people who've got a little bit of money, think they're better than you, who've got a nasty attitude and horrible attitude towards you. That I don't, I found out I didn't find them very welcoming, but then I found out people who from the ghetto were very welcoming with open arms. Generally as well, there was no reasoning behind their behaviour. They were being genuine straight down the middle. So I got to learn about these things, and I carried that into my security career, which I became very proficient and very, very effective as a security officer over those years.
Because you're a people's person, aren't you?
That does help having
and you
that.
can get on with anybody.
Yeah, I can get on with anyone from any walk of life. But yeah, getting back to this video about homelessness. So yes, I was homeless from 2017 up until when I moved in here last year November to 2024. I was homeless for how many years is that then? That's
4 years.
Well, since 2017, it's 7 years.
7 years, yeah.
Yeah, I was homeless for 7 years. Wow, see, that's unbelievable. I was sofa surfing literally for 7 years. Wow. And you wouldn't think it just looking at me, would you? See, never judge people. Never ever judge people. That's the worst thing a human being can do, is judge another person. Never, because you don't know what that person has been going through from day one.
And you know what? You can have everything one day and nothing the next.
Gone.
And you'll be out on the streets
It's
yourself.
gone overnight, man. It's gone overnight like that. You blink and it's no longer there in your possession. You're thinking, oh my gosh, what has gone on here? What has happened? That's when reality bites, man, and it bites. And sometimes it won't let go. But you're the one who's going to have to break that away. Only you can do that. Not Maxine or me, or the next Joe Blogs, or the next Rita Blogs. You.
Yourself.
Only you.
There's only you who can change anything in yourself anyway. Nobody can do it for you, can they?
Exactly. No matter what you see on the TV, hear on the radio, or someone out there preaching. Because there's a lot of people who preach out there, and there's nothing behind it, it's just empty.
I mean, if you can, and you have got places to live, or they give you somewhere to live, always make sure, out of everything, you pay your rent, you pay your bills, and what little's left, buy food.
Yep.
Doesn't matter about the rest of the materialistic stuff. As long as you've got money to have a roof over your head, food in your stomach, and a little bit of eating on in the winter, or a light on, or a telly on. You know, you've got to prioritise things.
You have to prioritise.
Because once these people are on these streets, we speak to them, so we know.
On a regular basis.
And watching Billy as well.
I'm watching Billy Moore,
oh,
yeah.
God, Billy Moore. That man deserves an MBE
and more.
and more.
He really does.
He really does.
Because he knows about the hard life.
He's done it himself, so he knows.
He's been probably even worse level than what these
You know,
Irish
if you
people
get
have
a
been
chance, watch Billy Moore.
Yeah,
because,
Billy Moore.
Oh my goodness me.
It will open up your eyes in ways you can never imagine.
He's just a hero, he really
Yeah,
is.
he
He's
is.
such a lovely person.
Yeah,
And he's got a great personality.
yeah.
And he goes around to different cities showing you the true reality of stuff and trying to help the homeless himself.
Yeah.
But me and Andrew, we speak to them on the
Yeah, we do.
streets.
We do.
Because at the end of the day, they probably ain't spoke to nobody all month, whatever.
Months, if not
With
years.
people
with some
looking
of them.
down at them.
Yeah.
And you know, they're so honest
Yeah.
with what they say.
I mean, again, you know, when we did that Tai Chi demo outside of St Martin's Church, I think I might have mentioned this on one of the videos.
You did.
But yeah, homeless lad, you know, got him some food and got him a flat white coffee. And I stooped down to his level. That's another thing. Never, when you see someone sitting down like that, it's very rude to talk down over them. It really is. If you know and you can wait up, then just stoop down, just keep your distance. You know, you come down to their level and they'll respect you for that, because you wouldn't like it if someone was stooping over you and talking over you like that. To me, I find that being dishonourable to someone.
I think they're just grateful for somebody to talk to.
Yes.
And the way people are with them.
They certainly are.
You know, you don't know these people's stories.
No, you don't.
And you can't judge them because they've got addictions.
Yeah.
Because that's what it
It
is.
is.
It's an addiction.
Yeah.
People are addicted to things.
And it's a trauma in life, no matter how great or small. What causes that addiction? And it does.
Yeah.
It really, really does. Because we both know
Yeah, we do.
it's a trauma. It's always a trauma. You know, who can say that? Whoever's an addict saying that they didn't have a traumatic thing in their life. Trust me, the people we've come across, every single one has had a traumatic event in their life.
And you know, if there's any of their grown-up children watching who've got families like that on the streets,
Yeah.
do you know what? Don't be ashamed of your
No,
family.
don't be ashamed.
Because you know, at the end of the day, they probably weren't old enough to realise what was going on.
Yeah.
And it's so sad because when families, when the parents split or they get kicked out, whatever, it's not them that are suffering, it's the children.
It's the children, it always is.
You know, but all of these we speak to, they miss their kids.
They do.
And everyone says it, don't they?
Like I miss my boy every day.
Yeah.
I miss Ben every single day.
If you could change anything, what would you do? And they go, well, we'd like to see our kids. I'd like to see the kids. But they don't want to know me.
Because I'm harmless.
I mean, some of them there is no hope for, God love them.
Yeah.
There just isn't, because they've too far gone now.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of characters like that on the TV recently.
Yeah, and I mean, we watched Billy Moore again today.
Yeah.
And it's right what you see, because they have to wait months to get, well, years probably, to get into anywhere to live. And then they've made their own friends on the streets.
Yeah,
So they start missing them, don't
they do. It's because their own family.
Plus, they're addicts.
Yeah.
Remember, all of them, I would
Addicts attract other addicts.
Yeah,
That's
so
how it
they
works.
need that fix, don't they? They can't get that fix where they're trying to have a new life. So they go back to it.
Yeah, they do.
And that's the sadness of it, really.
It's a vicious circle. And it really is.
Such a vicious circle. I mean, I don't know what the solution is. If Billy Moore don't know what the solution is, nobody's going to know what the solution is.
Because even Billy Moore on his own journey, he was a heavy duty addict, and he really was, which nearly cost him his life.
He was.
But then he battled through it, and you know what he did, which some addicts need to really do, is a cry for help properly and ask for
You've got to be honest.
Got to be honest.
You can't be too proud.
No, you've got to accept it. Be acceptance of what's going on. Don't say, oh, it's not. Yeah, I'll just do a little that's it. No, it's not a little.
And even if they're like single men or women living on their own and they're about to be thrown out, don't keep piling their letters up.
Yeah.
Ring somebody, go and see somebody.
Yeah.
And be honest, I'm struggling. You know, there's no shame in it.
No.
Because we're all struggling, aren't we now?
Yes, we certainly are.
Financially, unless you're young enough to work and...
Yeah.
You've got jobs and stuff to go to. It's a rough road out there.
It is a very rough road.
I mean, the shops are closing, aren't they, in cities? They're all boarded up in some places.
There's a lot of them that we see.
Well, most places. Most places. I always used to think like, oh gosh, Birmingham, I'd love to live somewhere else. But I'll tell you something.
After what we've seen.
It's a palace compared to some places.
Yeah, it is.
You should be grateful that you've got somewhere.
Yep.
At least our councils are trying.
Yeah, they are actually.
To help, aren't they? As much as I can with the finances I've got now.
And take this thing with the binge strikes around Birmingham.
Yeah.
Come Monday, 75 to 80 people will be given their P45. As simple as that.
They'll be offered their redundancies because if they can't work, they don't want it.
No.
Because but they haven't been thinking about the people, have they?
They're suffering with these health issues.
You know, there's rats the size of cats running
around. We actually seen it on the news, man. Rats, seriously, as long as that, and I ain't kidding you.
In Birmingham, I mean, we've been lucky, we have, where we live.
Because we're part of the Sandwell Borough, you see. Which,
Birmingham, I feel sorry for them. What about if you ain't got a car to take your rubbish? You know, what about if you haven't? To the tip, you can't, can you, if you haven't got one?
No.
So it's piling up and piling up and piling up.
And it is bad.
Yeah.
Very, very bad.
I mean, they've got the smell, haven't they, having to walk past it?
Yep.
Disabled people who are blind and that can't get past the pavements.
Yeah,
that's another danger if they've got to go into the road.
Yeah, because the pavements are blocked off with all
it's
the
just
rubbish.
Horrible.
I mean, it's mountains of rubbish as well. It's not just the odd bags here and there. It's ridiculous. It's a horrible thing to see.
And yet most of the homeless, I mean, if you think they're sleeping on a piece of cardboard, lying on a coal floor, with all rubbish around them, ain't they?
Yeah, they are.
And what I think is awful, people are attacking them.
Yeah, they are.
Where they're sleeping. No, that's not on, is it?
No.
You know, they're coming out the clubs and the pubs.
Yeah.
Kicking them like a piece of dirt.
So you people who are doing that, who
don't do it.
Out to the nightclubs and the pubs or wherever you're coming from and attacking these homeless people for no apparent reason, shame on you.
And remember, what goes around
comes around, because that could be you one day on the streets.
They're not animals, they're human beings.
No, they're human beings
people.
like you and me.
They've got feelings.
Yes.
And they keep trying to numb these feelings.
By their addictions.
And that's why they've got addictions.
By their addictions.
Because they're trying to numb how they're feeling.
Like we saw this one homeless girl, she lived in, was it Huddersfield, I think? Or was it Manchester? It was Manchester.
Manchester.
Yeah, she got to have been, well, I can't remember what her age was. She was
29.
She was late 20s, early 30s.
A kid.
On her own as well, you know, she was on her own. Actually, that was in Blackpool. That was the Blackpool one.
Was it?
Yeah, it was, because the horsemen come out, didn't they? The police on the horses, and she was.
That was a different one. I'm thinking a different one.
I'm thinking of the other one, but anyway,
29.
It's 21. This 29. I do remember that one, and she was. You could see that she was not being honest with Billy, was she? She wasn't being honest with him. But then she come out and said, "Yeah, I've got an addiction."
Because they're drugged up to their eyeballs, and they tell him that they're not on drugs anymore. And you know, all Billy says, I mean, he's not bothered whether they are or they're not, he's trying to help.
He's trying to help, yeah.
And he'll say, well, just tell me the truth, you're on something.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, crack come out, do
yeah, all of it comes out.
I'll just take crack now.
Yeah.
You know, they want money so they can buy drugs and drink.
Yes, they do. It's very rarely you ask the ones who ask you for some food. It's very rarely you hear that, because they mainly want the money.
And then you've got the younger girls who've turned to prostitution.
For it? Whoa.
For money for their drugs. It's really sad to see.
Yeah, it is. It's quite upsetting when you watch it, but this is what
that's
reality...
somebody's daughter or somebody's sister.
Or someone's aunt or niece,
And they're having to sell the bodies, to get the money
their
for
fix,
drugs.
get their fix,
The next fix, yeah.
It's it's brilliant. It's a brilliant thing to see, but it's also hard hitting.
And the police, they act differently in different cities, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Some are nice, they're okay, but then you've got some who are not so nice.
Well, we heard that some in the Blackpool, not very nice. From what we saw, we actually got to see it for ourselves. But then the ones in Manchester,
they were lovely with them.
Yeah, they're okay, man. They're on a level with them, But yeah, the homelessness, boy, it's quite insane in this country now at the moment, and it really
You don't
is.
realise how many are homeless.
Boy, there is a lot.
But my goodness me.
There is a lot in every town, in every city, and even in villages as well.
And you know, they're not prejudiced, but a lot bring it up as well.
Yeah.
Why should people come over on boats
Yep.
and be put into a hotel when they're lying on a floor
Yeah, true.
and they was born there?
Yeah, they were born in that country.
There's not prejudice against
No.
about it.
It's just
But
the
the
system.
government are causing
It's
this,
the
aren't
system.
they?
It's the
It's
system.
the system.
It's the system.
And then you've got to look at the positive side with the government. I never thought I'd say this. I never ever thought I'd say it. But in a way, you know, they're cutting benefits and stuff, aren't they? And pips and things. You can understand why when there's people like that claiming it,
Yeah.
who are homeless on the streets. They're spending it on wasteful stuff, aren't they? Like drugs and drink.
Well, I can personally, and this is the real stuff. When I was in the hostel, I knew there was a handful in there who was on the pip, and they said to me, "You're not on the pip." I said, "No." I said, "Yeah, but we've got on the pip in here." I said, "Well, you've got an addiction with things, haven't you? And you've got a mental health issue with things as well." I mean, I did have a bit of mental health. I had severe PTSD. This is why you should claim for it. But I did try it before, and I was being honest on it, and I was being really honest, so I didn't get awarded it. So in a way, I'm glad to that degree, really, that I didn't. But yeah, there was some in there who were getting pip, and they were going out on the streets and begging. I bear witness to that, and that's the truth.
That's probably on more money than somebody who's working hard all week.
Yeah, a couple of the guys were, and I'd go out for my little walks, and I see them by Asda, or I see them by Aldi, or I see them by some kind of a pub which is on my walkways where I used to go. I used to see them begging, they'd look and they'd do that. So I was like, "Oh, hello, fancy seeing you here." And they'd say, "Don't say anything." I says, "Why? I'm in the same boat as you."
Yeah, but you weren't going out doing the same thing, were you?
No. I said, "Why aren't you going out doing what we?" I says, "I've got no need to do it, I'm being honest with you. I've got no addiction. You know."
I mean, he should be really proud of himself, Andrew, should. He never thought, "I'm in a dark place, I'm going to go and do drugs. Or I'm going to drink myself to death. Oh, poor me, I'm depressed." He got on with what he got. The good things he got in himself and in his life at that time. He knew that he had to do that rather than go down the other road. You could have gone one way or the other.
I'm being honest with you all. I was tempted. And I mean, I was tempted every day because I used to see them out there doing what they do. I was tempted.
And again, when you're mixing around people like that, you're going to become like that.
Yeah. If you're not strong enough to
If you're not
fight.
strong enough to say, "No, it's
And I just
all right,
said,
thank you."
"No, I'm fine, thank you." I'm
And keep
all right."
away from it
Yeah.
rather than go into it.
Yeah, because I was really shocked. It says, "You're homeless, Aussie, yeah? You don't smoke drugs or anything like that." To that, no. I used to do a bit of weird. I used to tell them, "You don't drink alcohol." "No, I don't drink alcohol." So really? Because that's our number one fix in this hostel. Some of them would come in, being out on the bench, I'd come back pissed. And the staff would actually see them, and I used to think, "Gosh, I'm surprised the police aren't here." But I felt good on the one day. I remember this ex-resident of the hostel, tall white lad, and he tried to force his way in, and I could see that the staff were struggling with him, so I kind of stepped up, and I said to the lad, I said, "Excuse me, mate, you can't come in here." "Yeah, but I've come to..." I said, "No, sorry, you got to listen to these, they'll call the police on you." "Well, what are they going to do, and what are you going to do?" I said, "What am I going to do? I'm not going to do anything. Trust me, I ain't going to do. I don't need to do anything. They've got a job to do. Probably the police are on their way now." And he kept looking at me. I said, "And don't look at me like that, because I'm old enough to be your dad. So be careful, you're dealing with a big bloke here who's not easily pushed over by no man on this earth." And I told him straight. And then the staff looked at me, and they knew what I was capable of. And they said, "All right, son." I said, "Yeah, I'm fine, I'm all right. He's not coming in now, no matter what." And he got the message from the staff, because it kind of like give the staff the encourage. They fight because they knew I was there fighting their corner, and they didn't call the police, but he'd gone by the police. That shortly came after, you know, and I never saw him again after that.
The only thing I think is sad about P3, they don't seem to have a follow-on after.
No.
To make sure that the person's okay or
Which
how
they should do.
doing.
They should do, really.
And I think they should do.
Yeah.
That's the only fault I could really think with them.
And the thing is, I was kind of like promised, wasn't I?
Yeah.
You heard it for yourself.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, that was really following up. Just give you the odd call to see how you are. And I
Yeah.
haven't heard nothing since November of last year.
No, nothing
And it is
at all.
now coming into April. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? But anyway, so yeah, I was homeless for 7 years. I was sober for serving for 7 years. Never thought I'd hear myself know myself being in that situation. So you see, life isn't perfect and never ever will be perfect. Don't care who you are,
Right.
how much money you've got, what background you come from. If your mum and dad was the wealthiest people out there, life still isn't perfect. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
Mm.
very true.
So yes, people, you know, try and keep a level head on things in life. Don't wish for things which are unreachable to achieve. Just take every single second of that day as a precious thing.
And any young homeless people who are watching, just remember, don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up, please.
Don't give up.
I can
if
do
Andrew can do it,
you can
lot
do
can
it.
do it.
Trust me, you can.
You can.
You can. Look, I'm an ambassador for PTSD. Who'd ever thought that? Being, you know, inducted into the UK Martial Arts Hall of Fame since 2015. Even though I've become homeless since 2017, I don't know, I still managed to get through things because of the help and support and asking for that help and support.
There is help and support out there. You just got to keep reaching out till you get
I
somewhere.
didn't stop. Once I knew I had that connection with certain things, and I thought, right, the help's there. I know it's there, and it is there.
And there'll always be one person who'll give you a chance.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And I definitely was given that big chance.
Eventually.
Definitely given that big chance.
Mm.
The biggest chance I've ever known in life. And it's changed everything for the better.
Andrew's a change, you know.
Yeah, Maxine's seen that.
Really is a changed person. I mean, he was so low in himself.
Yeah.
And I knew I could relate to him because I've been there with the lows of life. So I knew more how to help him and build him up a bit. But, you know, some people, they don't deserve to be there, that's what they say. Oh, they didn't deserve to be there. But, you know, nobody deserves to be there, do they? No one.
And never beat yourself up.
No.
I did for quite a few years.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, which nearly destroyed me.
I know.
And it was. I'll tell you how close it was. I was a hair's whisper away from it. That's how close it was for me, for no longer being here on this earth. And that's the
Not
truth.
good.
And I don't look for sympathy. I'm not looking for sympathy by saying this and that. I'm speaking the truth. This is the harsh reality of how life can be if you let it. But then it's up to you to turn that around, man, and turn it on its head into a positive way.
Totally agree with that. You do.
So we're going to be ending it there on that one.
Yes,
I think
we
covered
will.
that one. So yeah, seriously, if you're homeless down the streets and you do see my videos, there is help out there. No matter what you hear about this, you hear about that, there is help. It's just you are the one who has had to make that choice to ask for it.
And there should be different organisations that walk round the towns at night
Well,
in
we-
Birmingham.
Well, we've actually seen some of them, haven't we? We've actually seen some.
Trying to help, you
Yeah.
know, with food and stuff. But there should also be people that go out like see if you're okay and if they can help you in any way.
Yeah.
Those are the people that you need to be approaching,
Like,
but make sure they're genuine.
yeah, like all, and we've seen these people who have got like this mobile hut shower thing, cleaning thing
Yeah.
by the church,
Yeah.
by St Philip's Church Cathedral, in Colmore Road, otherwise known as Pigeon Park.
I don't know what the charity's called,
No.
but they're a great charity by the
Yeah.
looks of it. And they've got all these boxes with all clothes in so they can change
Into fresh, clean clothes.
into fresh, clean clothes.
After you've had a shower and a freshen up.
Which is so lovely.
It's a mobile shower cubicle. I don't know how many cubicle shower in there, but I know I think they might have a handful of them in there.
You've also got Sandwell Mind in the centre, haven't you?
Yeah, the boring centre.
Where people can just pop in and chat. So they're another organisation that can help you as well.
I mean, I got in with a company called Healthy Mind as well. I was with them for a few years actually on the phone, and then when my mental health problems, my PTSD got severe, then I'd organise to get a one-to-one consultation with them for a few months, which is when I was at the Tetnall. Was it? It started at the Bushbury one. It started at the Bushbury one, and then
carried on
to when I was at Tetnall. A few months there, and it helped because then I had to speak about my past, which I never ever spoke about. 21. Oh boy, did I open up, or did I open up? And I did open up to Maxine too, as well, as I was in a much better place about it, to tell the truth. And that's why I wrote a book about it called Out of the Shadows, which is on Amazon, and you find it. Put my name in, Andrew Chi Osborne, not Andrew Chai, as some people have pronounced it. It's Chi. Chi is spelt C-H-I, but it's pronounced C-H-E-E-E. Chi. Even though it's written C-H-I.
It's well worth reading. Very helpful.
Yeah. And again, I've told the truth, and I've gone above and beyond about opening up.
Yeah, you have.
In that book.
And it takes a man to do that. What Andrew's done. To be honest with his feelings, not hiding anything, all the truth.
Unmasked.
Took that mask off, and that's got to be a very big thing to do after what he's been through with different things. It's got to be a hell of a thing to do, but he did it. So you should be proud of yourself for doing it.
I am, my darling.
Really should. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I mean, I've seen it from the beginning. Tried to help him, but he just wouldn't let people help him. Anyone, would you?
No.
You're just grateful for the chats, really, weren't you, at that point?
Yeah, I think that to me was the, that famous saying about Bruce. Well, he actually did it in the film Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, starring Jason Scott Lee. And for those of you who've seen that movie, it's the bit where he buys this old laundrette building place with his wife Linda, and there's a pebble he picks up, and he picks up this pebble while he's with Linda, his wife, and then he drops it. Hits the floor, and then he says to Linda, "It has begun." And then she wants to know what he means by that. It's a metaphor. When you start something with a single step, it creates ripples. That little step, like I've just done now, creates ripples. And all those ripples lead you to where you need to go in life.
Well, you started with a little step, didn't you?
A very tiny step. And then the ripples came from that, and then more and more and more. And I used to document that on my social media one of my social media platforms. And I used to document it. Because when I was in the flats in Heath Town, where I was my last place of residence before I moved in with my beloved, I didn't have the Wi-Fi at the time. When I first moved, I was getting it all sorted out. So I had to wait a month or so at least. I'd go up to the Manor Centre in Wolverhampton to use their Wi-Fi. Didn't I? I used their Wi-Fi to upload it to one of my social media accounts, and then document what I was doing.
He did. He used to ring me sometimes really early, and I said, "Where are you? We're going to the Manor Centre."
I'm in the Manor Centre.
Using the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, using the Wi-Fi. And I even used to say that on one of my social media platforms. Says, oh, how come people wanted to know how come what's going on? I never really told them to that really. And yeah, I was using their Wi-Fi.
But you've come a long way.
Yeah.
You know, we should be proud of that. And I hope everybody out there who's homeless can do the same. If one person can do it, you can do it.
Use me as that pebble.
It's going to take a lot of your more time,
Yeah,
obviously,
of
because
course.
of your addictions.
Your addictions, yeah.
But there is a way.
There is where there's a will,
There's a way.
there's a way. Most definitely.
There really is.
So yeah. So we're ending it there on this
Yes,
one
we
about.
are.
Let's talk about homelessness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just let's all remember it can happen to any of us.
Absolutely.
At any time.
Any one of us who watches my video,
Especially now, the way the
especially in this day and age.
situation is, yeah.
And it's not just in the UK, it's all
all
over the world.
All over.
And it really is all over the world. There's no joke about that. So, it's ending it there on that one for Let's Talk. And again, thank you for your support on our channel. We are so grateful about it. And that's another thing, be grateful every single
Always
day.
be grateful.
Always be
Always
grateful.
say thank you for your day.
Always.
No matter what sort of day you've had, you'll find one thing in that day that's been okay if you think about it. That you can think, oh, that wasn't too bad.
Which I originally thought.
Yeah, and I'm really grateful for that. Because there's always something to be grateful for.
Yep.
You're alive for one.
I was just going to say that. What's the most important thing to be grateful for?
Got
You're
life.
you've got life. You've got your soul.
Yeah, you've got that magic air that we breathe every day.
Your oxygen. And this is where your soul is here. Your soul isn't here. It isn't there. It's here. It's in your abdomen. Be thankful you've got your soul in there, which keeps you alive.
And on that note,
And on that note,
namaste.
namaste, namaste, namaste.
Thank you for listening.
And most importantly, please stay safe out there, everyone, wherever you are in that world of ours. Please stay safe and be aware. Always be aware. Always be aware. And let's keep this chi of life. Let's keep it always and forever flowing. Let's keep it moving. Moving and changing in every direction and every form and every shape. Let's feel that chi. Let's feel that chi.
Blessed be everyone.
Blessed be everybody.